So, welcome to this, the sixth in our Business of the Outdoors series. My name's Rob Yates, and together with my co-founder of We Get Outdoors, Mr. Mark Hopkins, we're going to jump right into this session's contents with no BS or no waffle. And today the session is about why most outdoor businesses are actually not a business. So as we jump in, we've built this series called Business of the Outdoors to be as in-depth as possible, covering the most critical topics and questions that people have about setting up an outdoor business. If you've got a question, please go and put it in the comments section and we'll get to answering you as soon as humanly possible. But if you're an impatient soul, why not go and check out the previous 5 videos that we've done that we'll put a link to below in YouTube, and maybe we've already answered your question there. So this is not a get-rich-quick business thing. So I hope you appreciate that we've spread this out and we're going to go quite in depth. We're not going to fob you off. Today, we're going to be talking about some themes around why most outdoor businesses are actually not a business. So we're going to be talking about what makes a business, why a lot of businesses actually are not a business, what business owners need to change to become a real business, and why our We Get Outdoors business in a box opportunity is actually a real business. Now, let me quickly tell you who this is for and who this is not. And I'm going to start with the not. So this is not for you if you're looking for a get rich quick, do no work, have little commitment and have no passion for the outdoors sort of person. If that's you, brilliant, but please stop watching now and please go and search around on YouTube and you'll find some provider on YouTube who will happily go and rip you off and take all your money off you, because actually get rich quick always leads to get broke quicker. So if that's you, thank you for watching for these few seconds, but we look forward to seeing you somewhere else. But if you love the outdoors, if you're seriously committed about your future and your family's future, and if you're seriously curious about opening and owning an outdoor adventure business one day, this is 100% for you. Now, you may be wondering, who are Rob and who are Mark, and why should I listen to their advice? And what a great question to ask. So let me kick off by telling you quickly a little bit about me before I hand the mic over to my co-founder of We Get Outdoors, Mark. So my name is definitely Rob, and I've been working in business and in the outdoors since the age of 16. So that's almost 30 years now. And I've done every job you can imagine in the outdoors, from having cleaned an outdoor centre through to working for as a director of a chain of outdoor centres, to owning my own outdoor and adventure sports business that I sold 8 years ago when I moved continents. Along that time, I've become one of the most highly qualified canoe and kayak coaches on planet Earth, and I have trained over 3,500 outdoor coaches, guides, and leaders over the past decade or so. I've also been on expeditions to every continent apart from Antarctica, either as an expedition just for myself or taking clients, and I've spent well over 1,500 nights under canvas working in the outdoors. So that's a little bit about me. I wanted to introduce you now to my very best friend and co-founder of We Get Outdoors, Mr. Mark Hopkins. Mark, welcome to this masterclass.
Thank you, and I am not going to lie like you've just lied. When awesome. I tell people, I tell them about the truth. That you say you started when you're 16, 30 years, you're a lot older than 46, let's be honest. So I'm the true one. I'm the youthful one. If We Get Outdoors, and I'm a hobbyist. I'm a hobbyist. I'm a outdoor passionate, and I've never had the opportunity or luxury or to actually work in the outdoors directly. With Rob and I, Rob's the expert in the outdoors. Everything outdoors, Rob is the man. I'm the one who looks at it from a person who just loves it. So my experience and my enjoyment started at 11 years old, hiking, camping with my grandparents in Longleat Park and looking at all the safari animals in the UK. And then it's just taking me around the world, hiking in Morocco, in Europe, in Africa, you name it, I've done it, Australasia, New Zealand, just hiked. Asia, wherever I go, I get and I hike. And that's my passion. My passion is the outdoors. It is falling asleep to the sound of nothing, to the sound of a crackling fire going out, waking up to the sun hitting your canvas. That's what I enjoy. And We Get Outdoors is all about the inspiration of getting outdoors. And that's what today is. Today is all about, we've talked a lot over the last 5 sessions around an outdoor business. We've talked about the role of being an outdoor business owner. But today we are going to focus on what actually is happening in the outdoor industry at the moment and why a lot of outdoor businesses are not actually businesses. And that's our focus. So we're going to give you the realities of why businesses aren't businesses, and then how to actually build and create a real outdoor business. So, Rob, I think it's important before we go and tell people why a lot of outdoor businesses aren't a business. What is your definition of a business?
So a business is a vehicle in somebody's life that puts enough cash in their pocket and time in their pocket to go and have the lifestyle that they wish. So, you know, that, a business is something that, generally speaking, would have employees, or if it doesn't have employees, a business can function without the owner being present for prolonged periods of time. So we're not just talking the owner going home for the night, having a meal and going to bed. We're talking about the owner can go and ski across Antarctica to the South Pole for a month, and when they get back, the business is still working, it's still functioning, the money's still coming in, and it hasn't gone backwards in any way, shape, or form. So that's my definition of a business. A business is also something that you can sell at some point in time. And a business usually is something that has a purpose, a vision, or a mission that's greater than the individual business owner themselves. It's almost like the business is its own living entity.
Now, I'm pretty sure there are many people watching this now going, you've just spent time talking about a business and you haven't talked around product. You haven't talked about anything to do with a customer at all. So to those people who are going, Rob, you're talking crap. How can you talk about what a business is without talking about a product and a customer? How would you respond to that?
So firstly, I think it's important to know that while businesses do have products and customers, the business is a servant of the business owner. And so the starting point for almost any business is a double-edged, double-sided coin. What do you as the owner need and want to get out of your business? Question mark. And then how can you structure your business to facilitate that for you? So, for instance, I've got a little daughter. Mark, you've got a son who's a few years older than my daughter. Our outdoor business cannot easily take us away or ask us to work hard during the summer holidays, because that's our only holiday time to see our kids. So in building an outdoor business, we're going to need to build one for you and I that frees us up in the usual outdoor peak time, as opposed to tying us down. And so, yes, of course, solving a problem for people, having products, etc., all of that's important. But the starting point is to remember that the business works for you, not the other way around.
If you think about it, we'll start talking about it in a second, but how many people start a business with an MBA kind of approach, which is, what is the problem that you're currently facing? And what is the solution to that problem? And is there enough people you know or out there who is faced with the same problem, who would pay to get that problem solved? Now, if you're looking at traditional MBA response to what is a business, that's probably how they'll talk about you go around your business. But what you're saying is, before you even start going down that route, you've got to be really, really clear about what do you want that business to do for you.
And I think, Mark, that comes down to, there is no right answer. The only right answer is, do you have a structure in place in your business that gives you what it is you want from your business? Question mark. And if the answer to that is yes, then you found your right answer. But your right answer will be different to my right answer, will be different to somebody else's. Now, there's a lot of common themes and threads, but how you go about each one of those themes will change depending upon what it is that you personally want to get out of the business. I often think, Mark, and you and I have both worked with people like this who are making obscene amounts of money and are miserable as sin, don't see their wife, don't see their kids, don't get vacations, their health suffers, and their bank balance is beautiful. You know, the car they drive is amazing, far better than mine. But equally, they reach a stage where usually their world falls apart about them, because making money in some respects is the easy bit. Making money in a style and structure that is how you want to make money and need to make money, that's a whole different ball game.
So let's make this really practical. Let's give the guys an example. So tell me about what We Get Outdoors needs to do for you. Why did you start We Get Outdoors? What is it that We Get Outdoors is doing for you?
For me personally, or for the people who are listening?
For you personally. Let's make this personal.
Personal. So my passion is about how can I increase the size of my shadow? How can I go and have more people engaging positively in the outdoors? And I get to that point where I believe that if we can get people to love it, they will look after it. And so how many people can I influence to love the outdoors? Now, me on my own, that's quite limited. I can work with you, Mark, and maybe between the two of us, we might be able to work with 1,000 people this year, well, or next year, between the two of us. And then that got us thinking to, well, if that's the mission, then how can we do that on a bigger scale? Because lots of other people want people to look after the outdoors, and a lot of people want to open their own outdoor business. So the next logical thing is, well, if Mark, if you can work with 1,000 people and I can work with 1,000 people, that's 2,000 people. But if I could train, or we could train 1,000 people to open their own outdoor business and be successful at it, and each one of those works with 1,000 people, well, that shadow's just jumped to 1 million people. And so if we can do and have that positive impact while helping people avoid the mistakes that 99% of outdoor business owners make at the same time, they can then have two things. They can have increased impact, but equally they can have the income to facilitate the lifestyle they want. And for me, that's what We Get Outdoors does for business people in the outdoors, whether it's a 35-year-old mum who actually says, screw this, I don't want to be a stay-at-home mum, I want to go and set up that's a bit stereotype, but I want to go and be in the outdoors and set up a business. Good. Then we've got the business in a box. Or maybe it's like one of the guys I spoke to last week who's already got an outdoor business and they want to transition into having the impact and income from their outdoor business that they always dreamt of. You know, when you start a business, you've got this idea in mind of what it's going to do for you. And unfortunately, for most outdoor business owners, the business doesn't provide what it is you want it to, but you don't know till 2 or 3 years in. And it's not too late then, but it is like rock climbing without a rope, I guess. So you kind of need a really good coach or instructor to hold the mat underneath you just in case you slip or fall. I don't know if that answers your question, but that's my passionate rant.
No, definitely. And I think, again, what you've talked about there is your starting point, but also you started to allude, and let's move on to this topic now. You started to allude around some of the challenges or failings, let's be blunt, failings of current outdoor businesses. So why, in your opinion, is a lot of outdoor businesses not actually a business?
Well, so I said earlier, a business is a business if you can leave the business and it keeps running while you're not there, and that income keeps coming into your bank account, and people keep using your business for whatever services it is that it offers. And I haven't met many outdoor business owners in the world who can say that's true of their business. That's number one. Number two is a good business understands that it understands its business food chain or its pipeline, and has a plan, a strategy, and a system to pour plenty of clients in at one end of its pipeline to spit out cash or satisfied people and cash at the other end of its pipeline. And generally speaking, good businesses don't necessarily struggle for customers. In fact, actually, they've done a really good job at the start of their business, and actually they have an abundance of customers. And yet again, I haven't met many outdoor businesses that fall into that bucket. A real business wouldn't be concerned about Amazon or REI because it's got a plan to overcome them. And yet, for most outdoor businesses, they are being more and more and more negatively affected by REI, as an example, and Amazon, the big players, I suppose. And so a lot of that comes round to, in your business, when you do that first thing that you're going to sell to a new person, are you solving a pain-based problem or a pleasure-based problem for them? Because that then says how important your business is and you are in that customer's world. Are they paying you for your services in the same priority as paying their home loan or their car loan or the school fees or the whatever else, medical insurance? Or are they, as most outdoor businesses find themselves, are they actually paying you from whatever money is left at the end of the month after they've paid for everything else? A great business always solves a painful problem, and it's probably its first two layers of its pipeline, of its product ladder. And on the topic of product ladder, not a lot of outdoor businesses have product ladders, where somebody can start off as a complete beginner and work their way through to being a world champion or an expert as they ascend through all the products and services that you've got. So it's another reason why we don't find many real businesses in the outdoors. That's not, Mark, to say it's not possible, but it does require a unique approach to the outdoors. Yeah. Oh, and I can't tell you the last trap.
Go for it.
The last trap is you've set yourself up as a purist outdoor business. So you're a whitewater kayaking business or a mountain biking business or a rock climbing business or whatever it might be. And that actually sets you up to fail at the start. That's not to say later on in your business, that's not where you cannot go to. But at the start, that's always for me, when somebody says, "Oh, Rob, I own a sea kayaking business," I put my head in my hands and I'm like, "You've just told me your problem." Or I own a bushcraft business. Same thing. You've just told me your problem. And it's not that anything is wrong with that desire, but it doesn't actually solve a painful problem for people where they're willing to spend money quickly in large sums to you.
Yeah.
There we are.
And again, I can imagine people are listening to this and going, so you're telling me that by focusing on a single skill set, a single niche, sea kayaking, rock climbing, is actually one of the biggest mistakes I can make in an outdoor business?
Yes. Yes.
And that's all to do with access to clients and product values and ladders.
Yeah, because here's the thing: is if you own let's just take sea kayaking as a outdoor sport for this time being, but it could be anything. It could be climbing, fishing, hunting. Doesn't really matter. If you go and Google search sea kayaking tuition or sea kayaking coaching, I don't know, west coast of the USA, for instance, you're going to come up with probably 30 different providers, if not more, down the west coast. And no one provider has a truly unique advantage. So like some have a little bit of advantage because they've got a better location than the other ones. That could be an advantage. Some have got some name brand coaches, but there's very few name brand coaches around really. You know, the professionally sponsored in all the magazines guys, those people, girls. And so what actually happens is people start playing like credibility chess with all of the outdoor businesses, where they're going like they're ranking you. Oh, good. Well, this one business does this, this, and this. I'll almost give it in my unconscious mind like a score. And the price that you charge gets apportioned to part of that score as well. And generally speaking, what people are looking for is the best quality experience for the lowest price. That's generally what people will make decisions on. And so actually what we end up is in a price war where we're all trying to undercut each other, and then it's like a race to being broke. Because we're not actually solving a real problem for the clients. Sure, learning to Eskimo roll their sea kayak is a problem, but it's not like a pay the home loan, pay the car, pay the medical insurance type of problem. It's a want-based problem as opposed to a need-based problem. And so I know, by the way, Mark, when I speak to outdoor business owners and they tell me what it is they do, when they mention a need-based problem in their first 5 sentences, I'm like, that's cool. Can I come play with you? I don't think I can help you very much because actually you're on the right path. Go on. Yeah, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, no, because I think everyone's listening to this now and they understand it, I think, because you've explained it very, very well. I know you had a couple of calls recently with some outdoor business owners who are facing some challenges. And obviously, we will touch base later on a little bit around business in a box and how we support outdoor business owners. But if you were looking at somebody and they came up and said, I am let's use a sea kayaking business owner, that's my business. What would be the sort of the top 3 things that you would say they needed to focus on to really start making a difference to them, their lifestyle, their business, etc.? What would you suggest they need to change?
So the first thing is to get very specific about what it is that they wish to achieve. That's the first thing. And I don't mean in terms of, well, it could be, but I don't necessarily mean in terms of bricks and mortar and business and trailers and kit and whatever else. What I really mean is, how do you want this business to work for you, and what do you want your lifestyle to be when your business is working successfully for you? That's what I really mean. That's number one. Get very, very specific about that. The next thing is to identify something that you can sell that solves a painful problem to people, where they will happily pay you a quarterly or monthly fee for solving that problem for you on an ongoing basis. A bit like CrossFit would be a gym membership would be a great example of that. And while we're on that topic, so what do people happily pay for as a pain or need-based purchase? Well, in general terms, people happily pay money on a need-based basis for something that will make them, if they put in $50, they get $100 back out. So something that will make them wealthier, or at the bare minimum will enable them to maintain the wealth they've got. That's something that people will happily pay for. They usually will happily pay for something that's going to make them obviously and substantially physically and mentally healthier, measurably. And the last thing they may well pay for is for something to glue together significant relationships that they really value, like either piece them back together or turbocharge them. And that could be a relationship with yourself, or it could be a relationship with others. My general experience in the outdoors is there is money in the relationship space, but usually it's the first need to fall off when people are making decisions around how they spend their money. So that would be, so what have we done? We've done have an end in mind. We know what we're working for. We've got what can we do that solves a real problem? Is that where I got to?
Yeah, that's your two.
That's the two. And the third one is, how can I scale this problem solving to a place where other people can competently and safely do it for me, as opposed to me having to be the person who does it? You could almost think of your sales funnel in an outdoor business as having 3 layers, Mark. So the very top, the wide bit of the funnel, I'd say should be 100% quality, 90% delivered by somebody else, 10% present by the business owner. Yeah.
That's very different from what other people are thinking.
Yeah. When we get to the middle of the funnel, 100% quality, but I think it should be like a 50-50 split. So part somebody else, part the business owner. And then when we get to the tip end, the base of the funnel, that last third there should still be 100% quality. But then maybe if the business owner wants it to be in an outdoor business, it could be 90% the business owner and 10% somebody else. So it is the truly specialized stuff that requires a massive high degree of expertise at that tip. The interesting thing is that the money in the business is directly linked to the width of the funnel. So a funnel is an inverted triangle like this. And so where most outdoor business owners try and play is in the middle to bottom. And we can see the funnel's very narrow here, very small, very slim. And so proportionately, there's that much money there. Actually, all the cash really is where the funnel is widest. So those are the 3 things I get people to focus on as a starting point.
Cool. Well, I think you've given business owners a headache. I think some of them are doing what you do when they say, I'm a sea kayak company, because they've probably got their hands in their heads going, they've made a lot of mistakes. They're probably looking at their business actually now going, do I actually have a business? So I think, first of all, before we move on, I think you need to do the honorable thing and apologize profusely for the clarity and the punching on the nose and the sleepless nights that you've given a few people. And then after you've apologized, I think, why don't you share a little bit around the 2 things that we spend most of all our time thinking about and doing, which is how helping existing business owners, outdoor business owners, change tacking and really achieve what they want to do, and how we help those who are just starting out to actually build the business with the right foundations.
Cool. So can I make people an offer at the same time? So firstly,
only after you've apologized.
Yeah, so firstly, sorry for any sleepless nights that I've given people, but I guess you wouldn't want me to lie to you if you're a current outdoor business owner. And if you haven't started your outdoor business yet, you really don't want me to lie to you. You really want the truth. And what we just gave you is the truth. I suppose the next thing is, you might be there thinking, well, is it all lost? Have I lost the game? You know, is it savable? And the answer to the question is 100% yes. And, you know, if I could make an opportunity open to you, go and book a call with me. I'll put the link in the comment section and in the description for this session. Go book a call with me and have a free hour with me, and come and tell me about your outdoor business and where the problems are and what you need help with. And let's see if we can make a little plan for you and help you step forward. So I think that's the first thing. And that goes for you whether you've got a current outdoor business or whether you've got a desire to start your own outdoor business. What do we do to help current outdoor business owners? Well, we have a very affordable package, very, very affordable. In fact, I think it's too cheap, but that's just, I've been playing with it today. That's just my own personal opinion, where we help current outdoor business owners fix their business. It's almost like going to the business doctor and going and getting a full, like, head to toe examination, blood pressure, heart rate, all that stuff. And and coming out at the other end with some very clear actions that a business owner can start to do to transition themselves to a place where all of our new business owners find themselves naturally. So all the people who work with us to set up their outdoor business, to get you to a place where they find themselves naturally. You might be wondering, well, where is that place? Well, that place should be, after 12 months, $60,000 to $90,000 profit in that business owner's back pocket. That should be where we're looking to play to. Whether that means that you've got an outdoor business and you want to earn more money from it, well, that's where we're going to go to. So we'll take you from wherever you are upwards. Or whether you're starting completely, we're going to help you crack that code within the first 12, maybe 18 months, depending upon where you are and where your starting point is. If you're a fearless individual who's happy to like quit your job and jump into it straight away, obviously the timeline will be shorter. But some people, Mark, have to go through a period of time to settle their finances and give notice in a job. Some people have 3 or 4 month notice periods in their job they have to serve. And you know, part of what we offer for those people who are going to quit their job is a transition program. How do you move from being employed to being the employer and minimize those risks on the way through? Because there is risks. Let's be honest about it. But I firmly believe that having your own business is far less risky than being employed. You know, I was talking to my wife the other day, and my wife's an employed psychologist, and we were having a conversation, and they're busy retrenching people at this point in time, making people redundant and all that sort of stuff. And what looks like a secure job is actually only secure for 30 days. That's it.
Yeah.
Whereas if I was to sack me from We Get Outdoors, I'd have to have a really awkward conversation with myself. It would be quite hard to sack me from We Get Outdoors.
You've got to record that. It'd be brilliant to be recorded. That'd be like a YouTube star. The day I sacked myself from my own business.
I'd have to have 2 separate Zoom accounts open so I could have like a question and answer going side to side. So I actually believe that in today's age, being a business owner is the safest option. It does allow you to, jeepers, if you need to, go do something else quickly, or transition your business into something else, or move into something else to ride the wave, I suppose. You know, even throughout COVID, I know of an outdoor business in the UK that through COVID sold outdoor online packages to parents throughout COVID, how to keep your kid busy in the garden during lockdown. Sure, they didn't earn as much as they normally earned, but they had that quick ability to transition, to put something online, to sell it to the parents who they were already serving their kids through the kids' schools, and make enough money to keep their business going. The other side of that coin is most employed people, or a lot of employed people, you know, when the lockdown and COVID-19 all kicked off, they just got given 30 days notice and they didn't have a job, didn't have anything to fall back on, and they had to start from ground zero. So that's that in a nutshell is what we do, is we help people either start a business and grow it from scratch, or develop their business they've already got into something that is a powerful real business.
Cool. Well, I think we've just given everybody a good insight in terms of what a real business is, and then why certain businesses aren't real businesses, what the top 3 things that you believe businesses should think about, and then giving guys an opportunity and quite a cool offer. And you think the price is too right? I think giving people an hour of your diary is very generous as well, knowing how busy you are. But yeah, and I think what we're sharing is really important for us. It's our passion. This is our passion for what we're doing. This is why we do what we want to do. And there's obviously some selfish reasons in there, which is around the legacy that we want to leave our 2 kids. You know, we want the outdoors to be a place where our kids can thrive when they're older. So yeah, thank you very much for all those insights. I think it's been and again, just to reiterate, just reiterate what the offer is that you've given people.
Cool. So the offer's really, really simple. In the comment section or in the description, or it'll be in both in the next few seconds, will be a link to my online schedule where you can go and book an hour with me to spend an hour and talk about whatever it is that you're most passionate about, be it starting your own outdoor business or increasing the impact and income of your current outdoor business. I'm going to give you an hour of my time. Now, there's not many hours available. I don't know how much is available, but my life is pretty hectic at this point in time. So there's a few slots open in the next 72 hours. Just so people are aware, like what's the value of what I'm giving is I bill my time at $500 an hour. So that's what I'm giving you for free, an hour of my time away from billing that much money. That's what it is. I'm going to give to you is $500 worth of knowledge, insight, and guidance, and the opportunity to see if us working together in the future is something where it would work for both of us mutually and be completely beneficial on a 50-50 basis for both We Get Outdoors and for you, the business owner. So click the link, book some time with me. Times are limited. It's first come, first served. So hesitation might end up you missing the wave. So go book it now.